Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity at the 12 o'clock location. We got double starting as the brown Protoss, 3 o'clock location, with Meyara starting as the yellow Zerg. Game 1, Meyara did a pretty good job getting his macro up and running, and had some opportunities to put himself in a good position, but double really played fantastically. Straight up. Had some beautiful size storms, and completely caught. Yeah, Meyara calling it here like I have no idea what happened to my units. They just got obliterated. Basically, double beat Meyara by doing better army tracking and just leveling Meyara's troops. Double saying he sweated a little bit about that third. I think that was just kind of a last minute emergency play from Meyara as well. Pylon dropped. Meyara just assuming good storms. Wasn't even there to see it. That's got to be the worst. Meyara making his way is going to have first scout. It looks like there's going to be a first scout here from double as well. Double being humble now. He got several good size storms off, and they were continuous. Maybe it's unconscious. Maybe it's just like one of those things where you don't want to reveal your tactics to your opponent mid-game. Oh no, double. He thought that the Overlord pathing would cause him to catch it mid-map. So instead, outplaying himself, and he's going to end up scouting the third expansion. What is the third expansion? StarCraft 2? Didn't Dutch. By the way, Overpool. Bad pun. Is he going to try to... This is a very late Forge. He's got to go Forge at this stage. But this is coming very, very late. This is opening up opportunities where... Oh, and we got gas. Quick gas from Meyara as well. This could be a fast match depending on how this plays. And the Overlord's going to wander up and see that this Forge is late here. But is Meyara going to register it? Is he going to save the larva to get 6 Zerglings out? Looks like he does want to invest in Zergling speed here to start. He's going to go ahead and plop down that natural expansion as well. But yeah, if he invests in Zerglings here to start, this could be huge. Could be game ending. Also went Nexus. Are you kidding me? Also went Nexus on top of it. I mean, potentially this is a larger map, so maybe I'm off on this, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, cannon just starting up. Maybe I'm off. This feels slow. Could be it's... No, I do think, okay, the Zergling spawn. Probe trying to be annoying, maybe recognizing the lack of timing, and it looks like they're just going to ignore it. But yeah, pretend they were running across here. They would get here... Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's larger. I digress. Okay, I need to stop saying I digress. I don't know if I've been saying that. It's my new word that I don't want to throw into commentaries. It's a fun word to say. Digress. Just need to get it out of my system. Probe, unfortunately, going to get wiped out. I don't know. I kind of want to see a cancel Zergling speed, because usually Zergling speed, the advantage in the early game is, unless you're going for a run by, I guess. This is an inverted ramp, by the way. And it is run buyable here through the middle, but a probe can just walk up and block and attack the Forge, and it just makes it very hard to accomplish anything. Yeah, gonna go ahead and attack the Forge in the gateway. Forgot about that gap right there as well. Zergling's going to find the base here at the 12 o'clock. I guess this is odd. Why are these 2 Zerglings out? Do they presume there's another probe out on the map? That could also be the reason. This Overlord was in position though to see that probe make its way. So anyway, Zergling speed finishes. I feel like that was a bit of gas that could have gone someplace else potentially and been reinvested in later. You don't lose anything for the upgrade cancel, I don't believe. Second cannon on that edge. Kind of an odd gap right there overall. And we do have a cybernetic score not that far from completing. We do have that hatchery. So now with this, and the drones pulled off gas, so it was just for Zergling speed. Is this going to turn into a Hydra bust? So Forge opener. Nope, we got a quick 4th hatchery. And Meyara, I guess, just wanting to make sure that he's got a lock on vision. Make it very, very difficult to get any sort of scouting information before Corsair. Huh, interesting. All right, Meyara looks like he is going to try to economically power this again. I think this is going to turn into a quick 5th hatchery. And then probably straight Hydra Den and skip layer. And probably, yeah, skip layer. Yeah, there's the 5th hatchery. Not skip layer, but delay layer a bit. in the build order to get a faster economic base. I do think this is kind of a clever build order in order to try to get yourself in a situation where you can contain your opponent a little bit more rapidly, because you get the economic drone surge. And I think it's a solid build order against Forge First in particular. Cannon canceled, by the way. Right this second for Double. Double just not sensing it. I think oftentimes when you see the Overlord back off rather than hover towards the front, rather than ingress, that's another word I just want to start throwing out there, ingress. Putting defensive cannons, expecting here potentially a Spire play. And those cannons going to be completely unnecessary, unfortunately. I do wonder what the timing is with the Corsair, if you can kind of scout forward with it and plop the cannons in such a timing where it will be scathingly close to when there might have been Mutalisk play. This Overlord's going to die for sure, by the way. Well, maybe not. Corsair going to go all the way in. Sees the Hydralsten. Is he going to scoot back? Because I don't think Hydras can get out in time to defend this guy. Even if they, well, maybe if they dash immediately, we'll see. Corsair wandering is going to go ahead and get eyes and confirmation here. Hydral speed being invested in. We have any Hydra being built here? We got one Hydra that's a ways off, so that should at least be a dead Overlord. But you can see Meyara's drone count is already rivaling Double's worker count, and part of the entire point of the more modern 2-base play like this is to pad the drones, pad the probes as quickly as possible. Now that it's 5 hatchery, that's actually an interesting play here as well. He sees the 5 hatcheries, sees the Hydralisks, and is concerned, so instead pre-investing in cannons. And actually, if I saw this as Meyara, I would just go ahead and grab a 4th pretty quickly, recognizing that there's a delay in the gateway count. But I don't know that Meyara is going to push up and be able to confirm that, is the next question. He has the Zerglings nearby, but they're not, it's observed for death. We have double forge. We have double forge. We have triple evolution chamber. Holy cow. From Meyara to try to push upgrades very, very quickly. That's also going to be a nice little wall for those Hydralisks to sit behind. And doing all of that gas investment again before layer. Wonder if he's got this patterned out where he's going to try to do this, and this is, okay, yeah, and drop the layer, and just try to continue this and try to play an inverted game. More often it's Protoss that go double forge and try to have the upgrade win over Zerg. Here, I think Meyara flipping the script and wants to have an economic, aggressive play in comparison. And at this stage, he can start surging troops. You have the Hydralist, in construction. Corsairs making their way down. This is kind of a cute build order. I like it. Drones making their way out. And this is very heavy saturation. Try to deduct these. Actually, if I sit here, does it get written? Man. You can see there's over a control group here. Corsairs seeing what they can see and also seeing if they can peck away against anything. Creep colony dropping. But again, a little bit unnecessary because Double doesn't have a really strong Zealot presence. Layer just about finishing up. We do have the 2 High Templar, so both players actually playing more defensively. But in the space of this will be advantageous for Meyara because of the multiple forge and because you can just start throwing down hatcheries and surging in troop counts after this. Dark Templar is wandering out on the map. Do we have Overlord speed as of yet? Overlord speed just queuing up. If an Overlord was kind of wandering, I guess that would have been the one thing that would have spoiled 4th base in the midst of this. Unless an Overlord like slow maneuvered in this particular build order. Of course, they're still wanting to get something accomplished, but they're a bit deep in enemy territory. The Hydral's going to be able to make their way around to still good information. But here's the interesting turnaround. All of these upgrades are about to finish, and Meyara is within 10 supply and will probably surpass Double in supply despite the heavy gateway count in not too long. At which point, Psystorm will be what Double's going to have to rely on. That being said, this is cute. I think Double recognizing the scenario and that he might... I don't like this Nexus grab, though. I like that he grabbed the Nexus. I don't like this positioning. It is closer to reinforce, but one, it's mineral only. Two, it's in the Valley of Death, where units can move to the high side. Once Overlord's speed finishes, look for a lot of movement on the map. Also interesting, Maelstrom getting upgraded from double. I don't know why he thinks... I don't know why he's going for Maelstrom in the aspect of this. Maybe he was worried about a tech switch. Lair finishing right in time for +2 upgrades, by the way, and it looks like Hive immediately being invested in to make the way towards +3. Is Meyara going to make any moves on the map at this moment? Because he's in a place where he could probably pick some fights. Instead, playing very, very passively. Is he going to grab a 4th with the army? It looks like he's going to go ahead and grab a 4th here at the 6 o'clock. Third base finish for double. He's got that Dark Archon. I think he was worried about counter a Mutalisk and wanted to make sure he could protect those High Templar, recognizing their value. But double, in doing this, although he's got a pretty healthy probe count, could again run into trouble because Meyara is continuing with the upgrade path. And he's going to hit +3 across the board, and I guess we got +2 weapons here on the Forge line, but I don't know. That gets negated a bit by the Carapace, and by the time double engages in a fight, I think there's going to be +2/+2 armor, and the Zerglings underneath as well. Plus, the Zerglings are going to have Adrenal upgrade. I do enjoy that these games are very different. Very, very different. Bunch of gateways plopping down, and they don't feel like so wild out there. Like, they're different, but they're not like, oh, this is bad StarCraft. Because I've seen some games that were different, in quotes, but they were not good StarCraft. This is interesting. This is legitimately interesting. Corsair spotted the 6 o'clock. That's going to provoke double to move out on the map. Dark Archon coming alongside. The one problem I do have with the Dark Archon is a Dark Archon is like a lot of gas. It could have been High Templar. But in the meantime, we've got that and a whole lot of Storm to work with in those 2 High Templar. So Meyara is going to have to do some dodging. In the meantime, double maybe falling behind, or Meyara falling behind on his macro a little bit. Some drones going to see that army as it's moving out onto the map. By the way, double also expanding behind this, which I love. Attacking and expanding simultaneously. That being said, the Zergling's able to sneak in. No harm, no foul. He's able to cancel that Zerglings that are on the front. There's the Maelstrom. There's the Psystorm. That feels like a bit of a wasted Psystorm because they don't know that the Zerg were gonna, those particular units are gonna be able to accomplish anything. Meyara has a lot of units that he can swarm this with, and I fear for double in the space of this. You can see, yeah, not with the upgrades, not a great trade. And got his army completely wiped out. That was before all of the, that was just as +2 was finishing, so that wasn't even with the upgrades. Wasn't able to establish the 4th. He's got this base, which is very difficult to defend now. And Zerglings with Adrenal upgrades pressing in. Also, I do want to note that there's an Ultralisk Cavern behind here. So things are just going to get worse now for double. If the Hydralisks just make their way to the right, yeah, double just going to GG. That was a really neat build order from Meyara. Well played from him. We are now tied 1 apiece. Enjoying this series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.